Hi, Mike DePong here, and I'm really happy that you're with me. I want you to know that I'm making this video for you if you are one of the people who end up clicking on this and listening to it. And I'm making this because as somebody who is aware of energies going on around us, and by the way, we all can be, but it's something I've nurtured. It's something that I have done because my own heart has spoken to me. And I want to speak to you today about ego energy and heart energy and why that's important. And if you've listened to any of my other videos or read any of my mini articles or even any of my books, you would know that ego and heart are a big deal with me because it is a way of looking at who and what we are as a human being that um, kind of fits almost everything. In other words, it's a base model and it's important because we need to know how amazing and great we really are, each one of us, how powerful we are. But also, we need to be aware of the other part of us that will try to convince us we're not, or that will try to convince us that we're superior. I'm not going to, I want to take this a little more methodically. Um, so let's begin with this. When we come here, I believe that we are expressions of spirit incarnate. That means spirit made into flesh. We are bodies in spirit, not spirit in bodies. And that's kind of a hard thing for many people to overcome. But that's the reality. And when we come here, because we have a body part, a physical part, we need ego. It's just it makes sense because ego tells us we're hungry, I need to eat. So scream when you're a little baby, or I'm wet and uncomfortable and I'm hurting. And so cry and let them know, let the adults know, let mom and dad know that you need help. Ego is for those kinds of basic life needs. And we should listen to ego. We should be aware of it too when it's operating because it is so essential to us becoming a human being. It is the default operating system. And I liken ego to an operating system on a computer. Um, and we there are different operating systems. You probably all know much better than I do. Um, and so the other part of us, though, the spirit part, is why we come here. We come here in bodies that are with bodies that are in spirit because we desired to come here. We wanted to come here to experience the magnificence of this creation, to experience all that can be experienced with a body that can't be experienced with just spirit. And so we choose to come here. And when we do that, part of us that wants to know how wonderful life is, the part that wants to have awe and to look at the world through eyes of a child, of wonder, and see everything as magical, as mystical, as very uh, palpable and grabbable that we can. I mean, how many stories have you heard of little kids who are talking to spirits that nobody else can see? And it's an amazing thing because they can. So we come here fully equipped. We come here fully equipped with our ego for our bodies and spirit for our heart. It's the heart operating system. So we have ego operating system and heart operating system. We come to a point as we grow, and ego is a predominant energy in the collective of human beings. Um, Ego is the predominating energy. We have to make a conscious decision to choose heart. We want to hear the little small, still small voices within, the whispers. We want to pay attention to those things that are kind of like those maybe sometimes nagging thoughts, because heart says that we should filter, process, and enjoy life and innovate and create and experience life and engage in relationships and responses to life using heart. And the basis of heart, what we are at core spirit self is heart love. It's love. Love is the reason we come here. And I'm not talking about romantic love. That can be part of it, but would be a very minor part. I'm talking about love of fully expressing who we are. That's true love. To be authentically, sincerely who you are, to be love. And when we each come here, here's the beauty of it to me. The beauty of it is we come here as expressions of spirit incarnate, as a human being. And because of my human part and your human part, we're each different. But that core self, that spirit core, that heart self is exactly the same. But we flavor it. We make our own melodies and music with it. We have our own telltale scents and aromas and tastes, savors, and textures because of the human part. But we needed ego to do that. And so we've got these two operating systems. Try to become aware of that. If you've never done it before, look into a mirror and see the eyes behind the eyes. See what many people go through life never seeing. How many people you ask, who are you? Do you really know who you are? Or uh, you ask, why are you here? What is it? Are you living a fulfilled, significant life? Not perfect life, but in general, do you know enough about yourself to know who you are? That part of us is the same, but then we get to buy into heart system because we make that choice by seeing the eyes behind the eyes as we look into the mirror and we see that we are spirit. We are eternal spirit that get to come here in a physical form for a short while and experience all that we were part of co-creating. That's crucial. Until we awaken to heart, until we enter into healing, awakening love of heart, we're going to always be saying, isn't there more to life? Why do I get hurt all the time? Why do I hurt people all the time? Those kinds of things are going to keep coming up. And this day and age, with the way things are in the world, it's pretty clear. I'm grateful in one way for this because the clash between ego and heart has never been, I don't think, has never been clearer because the continuance of the human race on this earth is really at stake. The continuance of life that we can live in freedom. We've evolved over the millennia. Things have changed, and there's been more people awakening to heart. We've never and never will arrive. It's never perfect, never complete. But right now, the likelihood of humans destroying themselves, this world will go on. There are many of the inhabitants of the world that will go on, but are headed towards making our world uninhabitable for us as human beings, and also just destroying one another um, out of hatred, out of those things that are born of ego. And that's why this is so important to recognize when ego is at play or when heart is at play. We should choose to filter, process, engage in life with heart energy. When we don't, we experience trauma, we experience hurt, and that's why there's such a need for healing, for spiritual, emotional, mental healing. Um, that's why there's such a great need for it. Ego says physical healing is utmost important. And in some ways it is. I mean, it all works together. We're never divest. Ego and heart always work in harmony. They are polarities, ego, heart, but they reconcile when we choose heart. Otherwise, they're just going to keep pushing. But it's like the geomagnetic sphere around the earth, the North Pole and the South Pole, and those energies circulate because they are because they are reconciled, and they can do that, and they circulate, and it works beautifully. And that's what we need to do. And that's what I'm asking you to consider. Have you awakened to your own heart? When um, when traumas and hurts occur, we go within. Now we can seek help, but anybody that tries to offer help, anybody that tries to offer help and um, does not guide you back to your own heart, to find the answers there, to use tools that help you uh, dig up that great inner strength and to reinforce it, to encourage it, to use it for your own healing. Um, there's some problems there. That's why I have a problem with organized religion in general. It's got to be from without to make you right. And say no, um, not in my opinion. A lot of people, that's a beginning point for a lot of people awakening, and that is awesome when it's used for that. Um, but here, let me do this. I want to show you something. I want to show you one of the reasons why I so wanted to make this video. The other day, funny story. Let me just pause here for a second. I made this video, thought I made this video, but Zoom updated and the record button was in a place that I didn't see. So when I hit start, I thought it would start it and it wasn't recording. And I knew things were different. I knew the update. I hadn't shot a video for about a month, so I had no idea. And so I did about 12, 15 minutes. I don't know how long it was. And it just went away. It wasn't being recorded. So I wanted to make it. And one of the things that I showed in that video that nobody has ever seen or I ever will see again was this card that I drew from a deck called the Mystical Shaman Oracle deck. And spirits are all around us. And our heart is part of that spirit world. And our heart communicates with the spirits around us, whether it's flora or fauna, organic or inorganic. There are spirits in everything. And the spirit of all of the rest of that, they are themselves complete. They can't, a rock can't be, a quartz can't be anything except a quartz. A Dieffenbachia plant can't be anything except a Dieffenbachia plant. We shouldn't be anything except expressions of heart love, heart energy. But we're the one part of creation that gets to choose, that has to choose if we want to know the fulfillment of all we wanted to come here to experience. And I drew this card. Actually, I didn't draw it. It shot out of the deck to me when I had shuffled the card. Soul retrieval. When we make life decisions, when we live life primarily by ego, every time we make the decisions and it ends up with hurts and traumas, and every time that happens, we lose a little piece of our soul. Look at this card again. Look, this is the butterfly or moth coming out of the chrysalis, coming out of the cocoon and being transformed, being new. But it always needs to have a part of that it was. There's always, we remember who we are, that we're eternal spirit, that we're here for a little while, that we have heart that is love, and love can help us experience life the way we wanted to experience it. That's what we're here for. And sometimes we can go on for so long, so many years, decades, without awakening to heart, without realizing that's who we really are, that we lose a little part of ourselves. Every time we make one of those decisions, we lose a little part of soul. And we can come back to know it. And it helps sometimes to have others help you with that. Um, just remember that you can retrieve parts of your soul. You can call it back with heart. And that makes you whole, that helps that fulfillment, that significance. Now, the other part of the story is because this didn't record the other day, I went to another deck, and it's called the Sacred Medicine Oracle deck. And I said, is there anything to add? Is there anything that I should add to this video that might really help people? Here's another here's another soul retrieval card. Here's another card that another card that just is exact same from a different deck, with the same principle there. This time you have an owl, one who is wise, one who understands the deep things, things that a lot of people don't see. I'm sorry I can't get this. I really do not like this update on Zoom, by the way. Zoom, if you're listening. Um, uh, this The owl holds wisdom and prophecy and can see into the deep, dark places. And sometimes that's in our souls to know where those holes are so that we can call back those parts of ourselves and we can do it by heart. Maybe I'm just uh, overdoing this, but I wanted you to be aware of the ego and heart operating system. Um, when we then, let me expand this then. When we are in a nation, a society, a culture that uh, becomes confusing. And so many things today, given by a number of people, are just outright lies. They are ego lies to gain power, wealth, and control with some misty overture about this is going to help people. And it's not. And I'm going to tell you how you can know when it's a lie. I'm going to tell, and I'm also going to tell you that those people aren't wrong or evil in the sense of, well, I will say they can be evil, but I won't say that they're wrong. They just make decisions that are going to just keep causing trauma. Make decisions that cause themselves and many of us to live in lower life energies that are put upon us. Now, we don't have to stay there as individuals, but for the collective, we're cast into lower life energies where there's fear, where there's uncertainty and doubt and hunger and poverty and hatred with other people, with those not like ourselves, with those from other nations. Um, it's really, really important that we understand the value of heart. And in this world, in this the way things are today, when lies are told so frequently that it makes everybody doubt, when lies are told so frequently that people just don't know what the truth is. They don't know what to believe and they give up. It kind of gets back to Henry David Thoreau's The mass of men lead lives of quiet desperation. And uh, resignation is desperation confirmed. If you just resign yourself to it's just life and that's the way it's going to be. It's just the way my life is. I can't look at myself any other way. I failed at this. I failed at that. And nothing ever breaks my way. No, people don't like me. Or you're saying people don't like me because I'm better than everybody else and they don't understand. Those are lies. Those are lies told by ego to protect this human body. And when so-called leaders do it, and like in America right now, there is a destroyer in chief that is supposed to be a leader, but he's a destroyer. It is causing us to experience lower life energies. How do we navigate that? If you have awakened to heart and you know your own heart, that for me, my heart becomes my touchstone. If you don't know what a touchstone is, look it up. I might put it in the description below, at least in a description, a video showing how a touchstone is used. You have a stone that is a very special stone that you rub a piece of metal on. And gold, they used to use it for gold and silver specifically, and alloys of gold and silver. And when you have standards that you measure against, where you have a known coin, a known something that has already been assayed, then you can know if that streak lines up with that metal, that coin, if the color is exactly the same, and it's really amazing how accurate it is. If it lines up, then you know that you have something that's genuine, that it's genuine 24 karat gold or 14 karat gold or 12 or 10, or you know that it's sterling silver or that it's pot silver or something else. You can do these things with many metals actually, and see the standards. And sometimes in more modern sets, you can use solutions that will, if it's truly whatever metal you're testing for, gold, silver, or platinum. If it's truly one of those, the mark will stay. If it's not, the reagent will uh, obliterate it. It will just be gone. The touchstone for all the political crap, for all the societal crap, for all the hate, for all the stuff that you read and hear about. The touchstone is our heart and it's love. It's it's an experience of love. And if it doesn't line up, if it doesn't line up with our heart, if it doesn't resonate with us, if you don't say this decision, and I don't care what it's in. To me, I don't trust a political decision, an economic decision, a cultural decision about what we do is within our little subcultures or whatever, if it doesn't line up with love. Love has to be the basis of it. When you get smart and you think you're so great and so powerful and you've got schemes and you got, here's the way we can win an election, and I'm not saying that if it's based in love, fine. If it's not, if it's based in ego cleverness, thinking that we've got to win, so we got to do it this way, and oh yeah, little white lies, or it doesn't matter. If the big picture, if the overall thing is not, if you can't strike it against your own heart and love, a streak of love that lines up, it resonates with who you are, then it's not for me. It's not for you. Love is the basis. Beatles had it right. All you need is love. And knowing yourself is where love begins. Nowhere else. It doesn't come from another person. It isn't for another person. It's for you and for me. Very ancient ones, the oracle over Delphi, and the saying over the oracle at Delphi, where Greeks used to go to find wisdom, and there would be prophets there would be those oracles, those speakers there that would tell people. The main thing, the first tenet, what the people would see as they approached Delphi to talk to a wise person was know thyself. You have to know yourself. Sir Francis Bacon said, know then thyself, presume not God to scan. Don't think outside of you. The proper study of mankind is man, placed on this isthmus of a narrow strait, of being darkly wise and rudely great. Those are paradoxes. Those are oxymorons. Darkly wise. Wisdom is thought of as light. So he uses very amazing words, beautiful words of these poets that I've studied for many years. It's ego, darkly, wise, light. It's rudely, which is ego. You treat others or yourself inconsiderately, and great. There's, hey, I'm heart, I'm eternal spirit. Guess what? When I see that for myself, I can see that in the other. I can see that in you. You can see it in me. I can see it in somebody with different colored skin. People who believe that nobody has to believe like I do. As long as you know your own heart, as long as you awaken to that, that's what we need. That's what we all need. As long as that happens, then I can know that people who think very differently, if it's based in love, they're acting in heart. I don't need them to think like me, but I know that every single other person has that potential. They came here with heart and ego, just like I did, just like you did. There are those who are these leaders today. This is where the confusion comes in, and why I wanted to talk about this healing aspect and where it starts so forcefully is when leaders say no to their heart. And that's what many have done. They have said, no, don't care about who I am. The only thing that matters is the bottom line. Capitalism has been something that has forced lower life energies upon masses of us for a long, long time, for hundreds of years, thousands of years. That desire for power, wealth, and control, that's the basis of capitalism. And these so-called leaders who just, all that we want are people who look like us, think like us, believe like us, and will do exactly what we tell them to do. The fools. That's ego. That's not the way a government. That's not the way a government should run. That's not the way a leader should be elected. Yeah, that's not the way people should vote based on what do I get out of it. No, is it love? Is the basis of this love? So, what I would urge you to do is if you need help with this, you can comment on the video. You can comment. If you and you don't really need help unless you actually need professional help because of the deep, deep traumas you have suffered. But you have ego and heart. Awaken to your heart. It's heart awakening love. Know that. Please know that for yourself. Eliminate the confusion. The more people that get clear about this, the better it will be for all of us. So um, until next time, I would bid you goodbye and love and peace. Oh, and before I go, uh, I do want to say I'm going to do one more video today, and I'm going to try to do one every day this month that is based on the basis of what I do, my work, my writing and stuff is based on this touchstone of love of my own heart. And I get a lot of ego. There's a lot of ego that comes into my responses sometimes to things, my reactions to things. Let me put it that way, not responses, but more reactions. But my work is considered, and it's based on my heart of love, and it comes from my soul. So I'm going to be sharing some of my own poems because this is National Poetry Month. And I would like you to value it because poems can do so much to help us hear our own hearts, to awaken us to our own hearts, to awaken us to the spirit that is the spirits that are all around us. So it is. I leave you now in love and peace.